Okay, you guys, we need to talk. We need to talk about the scourge of humanity, the bane of my existence, liberal white women, and the havoc and chaos they wrought. Stick around for that today on the Angela Box Show.
Hello, my name is Angela Box. Show your fucking money.
Okay, y'all, I have a few. I there is one thing I think in our country that has done more damage than almost anything, like almost even more than your garden variety Democrat leader like a Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries. Okay, nay, far more destructive than those ass clowns. Okay, and of course I'm talking about liberal white women. Liberal white women are the bane of my existence. They truly are, ladies and gentlemen. And there's so many great examples to choose from. I mean, Liz of TikTok finds them all the time. There's TikToks devoted to tracking these freaks down. That is something you can do, and it's well worth your time. If you're in a horrible mood, look up liberal white women on TikTok, and you will love humanity again. You will laugh, and you will love your fellow man, and be grateful you're not like them. Okay, here are just a few examples of some notable LWWs that are in the news as of late, and why they are so chef's kiss. Why they are so I hope you never change. Because the more batshit you act, the more we win. Okay, so by all means, keep on keeping on. All right, the first one is Katie Flanagan, and you're like, who's that? And you're like, and I'm like, it's the lady who wore a hijab licking the taint of the Somali community a couple weeks ago. And you're like, oh, that lady. Yeah, the lieutenant governor of Minnesota. Y'all, this heifer is wild, okay? I have a couple of clips from her that I want you to listen to. Now, she is running for Senate in Oregon or Minnesota, excuse me, and I'm sure she'll win. Like, it's going to be amazing. This chick is going to be the gift that keeps on giving. However, I will say, I think the Somali fraud will get her before we see a Senator Flanagan, God willing. All right, here's the first one. So she's been out there, of course, again, licking the taint of the Somali community collectively. And she let it be known last week that Minnesota, that the Lake and Riley Act is simply a green light for Trump to terrorize immigrants. I'm going to step back and miss the lightning, and you can watch the clip. Roll it.
Way back at the beginning of this second Trump administration, the very first vote that was taken under this Trump administration was for the Lake and Riley Act, which strips immigrants of due process. There were a handful of Democrats who voted in favor of that bill. My opponent, Angie Craig, was one of them. She also voted for a resolution this summer that praised ICE.
Shame.
And so we get to tell the truth in this race. We get to tell the truth. And the truth is that Minnesotans deserve better. Our immigrant neighbors deserve better. So we're going to keep showing up for each other. We're not going to throw people under the bus if it's politically expedient, because that is how authoritarianism reigns.
Yeah.
Bitch, I hope you never change. Now, let's talk about the other one that was just chef's kiss, okay? Chef's kiss, yet also very, very serious, because these Democrats have been out there on these streets telling their loser, useful idiots, here's what you need to do. You need to basically martyr yourself for the cause. You need to start ginning it up. You need to start shooting ICE agents. Like, wink, wink, whatever you got to do. And now Katie Flanagan is another one. Katie Flanagan said, we need to be putting our bodies on the line. Ergo, we want you dumbasses to go sacrifice yourselves. Roll that clip.
Our neighbors are being disappeared. P.S. Without due process, it is just called kidnapping. Then show up and use your voice. Put your body on the line.
All right, an oldie but a goodie is our friend, and I give her like white adjacent liberal white woman because, well, that's not true. Alyssa Milano. I'm not gonna drag this out too much. Alyssa Milano is of Italian descent, so I guess she would be considered white. Okay, so she's a liberal white woman. All right, Alyssa Milano, I don't have anything like super recent for her, but she really is, again, if you need a laugh, like if you need a chuckle, go find her Instagram, go find her TikToks. Like she was like, you guys, my hair is falling out because of Trump. And then she's blaming Elon Musk and she's suing. She said she's going to sue Elon for destroying her career because basically Elon was like, look at this joker and what a tard. And she's mad because she did that to herself. So that's a good one. And of course, we can't leave this video. I've got a couple more here. The last one you're going to be is the most chef's kiss, liberal white woman. Okay. We can't leave this video without talking about our most recent liberal white woman, the scourge of Renee Good and her wife. Okay. And this people are like, well, I'm so confused because she's like a mom, right? Like, what's she doing out in the middle of a day with her dykey wife, trying to F with some ICE agents? And people are like, why isn't she like with her kids? And people start to, look into it because, not everyone is throwing money at a GoFundMe for some violent lesbian activist. And you'll see why I call her violent. Because she doesn't have her kids because she chose that lady over her kids. Because evidently that lady was beating the shit out of her kids. Roll that clip.
Hey, just a little tidbit about the left's new hero. Yeah, she only has custody of one of her kids. And the reason she only has custody of one is that her domestic partner, a woman, she likes to beat the shit out of kids and put cigarettes out on their arm. And she chose that woman over her kids. Yeah, the court was basically like, hold on, if you're going to stay with her, you don't get to keep the kids. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. So when people were asking why was this mother not at home taking care of her children, it's because her children were taken away from her. Because her partner likes to beat the shit out of them and use their fucking arms as ashtrays. Like, it's amazing to me that every hero of the left turns out to be an awful human being. Like, that's not surprising, but it's the reality. Because anybody that would believe in the ideology that the left believes, anybody that would take action and try to run over a federal agent, I could assume that they were an idiotic piece of shit. But I have to say that the level of choosing your partner over your children, of staying with someone who likes to beat the shit out of your kids, that's a new level.
She looked normal, when she was married to a man, as you can see by this picture here. And then you can see what she looks like after she got completely brainwashed and just crazy left. Okay. And you can see what she looks like now. So she, enough said, her and her wife. Of course, you cannot have a liberal white woman list without putting one, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of, okay, because even though she's only half white, liberal white woman, like she is full obnoxious piece of shit, hypocritical loser, liberal white woman. So she's on that list for sure. And then y'all, the best for last. You're going to die, okay? I was scrolling through Gateway Pundit the other day, and this story popped up. And it's our old friend Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony came on my radar again. I mean, I'm perpetually fascinated by these cases with these evil pieces of shit narcissists who like get away with this crap and then walk around the rest of us like it's all good. Like she is another level, y'all. Like she legit thinks that we like her, and she legit thinks that she's going to like have a say in the culture.
I sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur. And when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact. So you will get very comfortable with my car. And I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country especially, it's that much more important, which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but my intention is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize moving forward. Anyway, I appreciate your time and we'll see how this goes.
So the election last year, she said, and maybe we can find this clip because it's really funny. She said, I'm urging people to vote for Kamala Harris because of LGBTQ and abortion and yada, yada. Well, this heifer is back, ladies and gentlemen. And even though this is kind of an older TikTok, this was a story that Gateway Pundit just put out. So this is when people would have known about it unless they're following Casey Anthony's TikTok. Anyway, she came out to calls for the Trump administration to be held accountable for, what they're doing to women and what they're doing to gay people and what they're doing to the immigrants. So she was like, listen, you guys, we need to stand up to Trump. And I'm like, is there any more of a self-own that the liberal white women community could possibly experience? Because it's like, unfortunately, we on the right, we have Sarah Boone. And if you don't know who that crazy bitch is, that is a fun one. Okay. Sarah Boone. But she's widely considered to be MAGA. Well, the left has Casey Anthony, and I will say, and that's worse. Okay. Because Casey Anthony is an established piece of shit child killer. So whatever. Keep on keeping on, Casey. All right, that's where we're going to leave today's show. Please let me know what you think down below. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. And remember to keep kicking ass and taking names. And, I almost forgot to say it, thy will be done. Peace!